Oh, let me fix that for a second. There you go. What's going on, guys? Zaphanix here. So, I got an interesting thought today. I was reading an article on IGN, right? And basically he was saying how it's a good chance, right? Not a good chance, but it is possible that the next generation Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 could be going mobile. Or mobile-ish, should we say. Is it possible that the whole fabled PSP2, in fact, is not the PSP2, but the PlayStation 4? Is that possible? Well, first of all, let's talk about the technology. Now, we've already we bear witness to the fact that consoles actually end up getting smaller as every generation goes past. Consoles, especially including the Xbox 360 Slim, the PlayStation 3 Slim, and especially the PlayStation 2 Slim, were all really small consoles, right? So they're actually quite mobile. Now, let's try to go to a different, let's try to take it a little more deeper, such as like maybe the size of an iPad. Is that possible? Well, it kind of is. And if you think about it, it kind of would flow with what I've been saying, and what a lot of us have now been saying for a good while now. The digital distribution is the future, because they would not have to worry about a CD-ROM drive, and they wouldn't have to worry about things like that. It's actually everything will be downloadable. And if we're moving actually in that direction, if you really think about it, if you really think about it, Xbox 360 is already there for the most part. Because one thing I've noticed is that they started their games on demand service, right? So that leads me to believe that their games on demand service is like the way it's going in terms of like they're making sure they got every game, you know, down there, down unpacked. It seems like to me that what they're trying to do is they're trying to set up for the next generation. The next generation, of course, being a generation where everything will be digitally distributed and nothing will be there will be no physical copies of games anymore. Now, I know there's some people out there who were saying, well, they were saying things like, because they wouldn't let Nintendo, what did he say? I forget who said exactly, but he said, because that would give a whole bunch of shelf space to Nintendo. Nintendo wasn't, you know, they wouldn't do that and let Nintendo have all that shelf space. That is actually true, but at the same time, who said Nintendo's not going to do it as well? It is definitely a possibility. And you also need to understand that Nintendo has already seen the power of digital distribution, and I'm pretty sure they're loving their virtual console. Same thing with Microsoft's Xbox Live. Well, obviously they found it good because they started up games on demand. They started up all the things that kind of jumped off from Xbox Live. Now I know Sony have seen both of their hands and decided, you know, they've also done the same thing. Not as much or not as powerful as both Virtual Console and Xbox Live, but they have done their own thing. So there is a good possibility that things could be going mobile. Now, let's just think, is that indeed possible? Well, first of all, let's just sit down and think for a second. Well, we already understand that the one thing, we're trying to see if this is actually possible. Graphics better than the Xbox 360 or the PlayStation 3. Is it indeed possible? Well, yeah, it really is. It really is. I believe that with technology today, you could make a video card, you know, a video card, what we call it? A video card, well, before we get into that, let's already talk about what we have right now. We have the ability to combo the video card and the processor at the same time. So that's actually saving a lot of space right then and there. So there's other things too. A smaller motherboard, you know, could suffice. I mean, we no longer need video cards because we just need the you know, the processor to be, you know, to go ahead and do that. So if you actually think about that, and I wish I had my box here. I actually have a processor here, and it's actually big. But to show you, the processor is about, I'm trying to see a good size of a processor here. So if I have anything, I really don't have anything size of a processor here. Okay, so this is a credit card, right? A processor would be more than half the size of a credit card. Well, this means less than half the size of a credit card. Maybe like this, okay? Maybe that size. So if you really think about it, so that's pretty much, imagine fitting something like that. Now, mind you, processors can become smaller nowadays, you know? So, I mean, it is possible. It definitely is possible. Now, will it go the way of OnLive? Well, that's actually a possibility too. What with streaming video and whatnot, I mean, it's highly doubtful, but it definitely is a possibility. Now, I've been testing OnLive for a while now, and I've seen it's very fruitful, to be honest with you. I actually took it to McDonald's and was using their Wi-Fi to play some gaming, and it actually worked out pretty well. So I was, you know, pleasantly surprised. But I don't really think that the future is, well, I think that OnLive is a future, but, you know, or part of the future, but I don't think they're going in that direction. What I do believe is that it will be digital distribution. Now, speaking of which, we already know that both the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3 both use 2.5 inch hard drives, okay? Now, these hard drives could become smaller with actually pretty easy. You know, they could definitely become smaller very easy. So on a technology base, it is actually possible for the next generation consoles to actually be relatively small, mobile, handheld. You know? Now, before I even go there, let me just say, am I talking about, do I really believe that it could be handheld like, how to put this? Because I'm reading it right now, actually. Now I'm actually going to go ahead and provide the link for you guys right now. I don't really think that it's going to be 100% in terms of like a pure handheld device, but I'm thinking it might be something, you know, Then again, it is a possibility, you know? It is a possibility to have your entire gameplay on your screen, right? On a screen, on a, you know, mobile device, and then of course have on top maybe, you know, ability to plug in a we'll say an HDMI, modified HDMI, one that has a smaller plug on your side but a larger plug on there. Plug into your TV, bang, there you go. Your console, which also doubles as a remote, could double as a as your gaming console. It is indeed possible. A good example of that is indeed the PlayStation Portable, which, by the way, you know, for when it came out, that is, when it came out, had, you know, really good graphics. If you look at the graphics of the PlayStation Portable, it's missing a couple of things, yeah, such as anti-aliasing and things of that nature, but I mean, with just a little bit more power, it could have actually, you know, it could become the future. It definitely is. So my question for you guys is this. Now, you might want to go ahead and take a look at the link first, right? Then you can come back and reply. My question is this: do you guys believe in this guy who, you know, because I actually do. I kind of believe him. I'm saying that, I mean, it may not be this generation, possibly next generation, but at the same time, judging from what I've seen, such as netbooks and other things that have been around, it is definitely possible for us to see that the PlayStation 3, or excuse me, the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox 720 and the Wii 2 could actually become handheld. And we also know that Nintendo has gone on record to saying that the next generation the next generation console is going to be out of this world. No one's going to believe it. I mean, hey, it's kind of hard to believe, isn't it? Now, I'm sorry. Now that I think about it, in terms of small, I want to bring that up too. Think about that. The Wii is extremely small, and the only thing that makes the Wii its current size is the actual disk drive. Now imagine removing the disk drive. If the Wii is yay big, which the Wii is about that big, right? The disk drive actually is about that big. So which means that if you actually took out the disk drive, you know, you're talking about like that. And of course there's some stuff built under it, you know, but if you modify things correctly, you could have an actual handheld. Now, do I believe this handheld will fit in your pocket? No, that's going a little too far. I don't really think it'll fit in your pocket. But I do think that it could become a lot more mobile. Okay, I'm just saying maybe a book bag or something, you know, a smaller, you know, case or whatever. But I'm thinking that, you know, next generation could become a lot more, you know, able to carry it around. So my thoughts to you is, what do you guys think about that? You guys have a good night? Let me know.